Are you ready for Stream It or Skip It? I know I am. Welcome back, my friends, to the Parker's Couch. I am Cameron Parker. Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you know what's going on the couch. And make sure you're peeping the podcast on all streaming platforms because we are back and serving, baby. And today, I'm talking about G20 on Prime. G20 stars Viola Davis playing the US president. Now, people are all up in their arms about it, baby, but we're going to talk about it. She plays Danielle Sutton. Anthony Anderson is playing her husband, Derek. They have two children, one of which who is played by Marseille Martin as Serena. What a beautiful, beautiful family. And the villain is played by one of my favorite TV villains, Anthony Starr. He plays Homelander in The Boys, also on Prime. If you don't know The Boys, get into it. Anthony has a way of playing a wannabe hero type of character that is actually a villain. You know, Tyra Banks says that she created the smize, right? She tells you how to spies. Well, I say that Anthony Starr created Froze because he gives you that frown with the eyes, the ways that Tyra gives you the smile with the eyes. So if you've seen Homelander, you know the eyes that I'm talking about, and he's giving those same eyes within this movie too in G20. Now, Viola Davis shared a message on Threads that I want to share with you. It goes, woohoo! 7 years of hard work, 7 years of developing, and the fruits of our labor has paid off. Thank you, world, from the bottom of my heart. And she sent that also with the image of G20 being ranked number one on Prom. Now, I don't know what she means by this 7 years of hard work, 7 years of developing. I'm guessing she's talking about since this film has been in the making, or since it first came about with that journey in that role, but it's done. And she has a number one movie on Prom. Congratulations to you, Miss Viola Davis. Well deserved. Now, I want to talk first to the haters in the room. I want to talk to all you one-star raters for this movie. I went on IMDb just to see, because already know movies starring black actors are already starting at a low point because they have all these negative ratings automatically. I feel like people just go in there and just put 1 stars or no stars or whatever. So we're already working from a deficit. But there were so many one-star haters in there, and they were clowning on this 59-year-old stunning black woman playing an action hero. Do you have smoke for a 57-year-old Jason Statham, who just had his latest action movie? A 62-year-old Tom Cruise, who is out there still making Mission Impossibles? A 72-year-old Liam Neeson, or a 70-year-old Denzel Washington? That's just to name a few. Did you not see Woman King and what Viola delivered there? If that's your starting point for not liking this film, then you need to reevaluate your own biases and why you're singling Miss Viola Davis out as an older woman versus all these older men who are out here making all these action films as well. But now to the film. All right. When the G20 summit comes under siege, US President Danielle Sutton, Academy Award winner Viola Davis, becomes the number one target. After evading capture by the attackers, she must outsmart the enemy to protect her family, defend her country, and safeguard world leaders in this action packed thrill ride. Now, I say G20 is given a mix of White House Down, meets Olympus Has Fallen, and the rest of the Has Fallen series, and throw in a little smidge of Die Hard. And there you have G20. Now, the film lets you know off the bat that Danielle, the badass, Viola Davis, is a badass because she has a army background, but she does have this knee injury that she's dealing with. We also see the daughter Serena, who is super smart, and she marches to the beat of her own drum. I really love the way that the film starts because it starts off with action, and you see this person trying to make this crypto deal to give over this crypto wallet with all this money, but that goes awry, and then she's escaping, and then you get back to the White House, and they're like saying how, oh, code this, that code that, such and such. They go and wake Viola up from the bed. So the whole time you're thinking like, oh, it's about this woman with this crypto wallet and her cover is blown or something, and they're monitoring this. No, it was the daughter had escaped the White House, and that was the big thing that they had to take care of there. But I thought that was cleverly done right there in the movie to begin with. But these things are very relevant for you to take note of in the film at the beginning. Viola's character and her daughter's character, because they're gonna be heroes in this film. Now, what I enjoyed most about this movie is that it's full of action. Um, to me, it didn't take a long time for the action to get started. I have peeked at some reviews that say like it took a minute for them to get going. It wasn't that long for me. I felt like there were critical things happening beforehand leading up to the action we're going to get. But when the action starts, it's pretty consistent and it keeps going. So I felt like that was done very well with keeping you entertained through the movie, and it stays fairly consistent. The acting is just okay. Now, Viola Davis, of course, she delivers. Because you know how some people have the I, but not the T? Some people don't have the I or the T, but Miss Viola Davis has it. Always has and always will. All right. And she doesn't disappoint to me in this film. Now, there's nothing stellar that sticks out in terms of the characters. They're not really unique. When you think of characters that we've seen before in previous films, in action films, you have to suspend your disbelief at times. And, there are moments where you're going to have to suspend your disbelief with this one. It's not different than any other action film that we have out there. However, I personally think that it was a good balance of not doing too much with Viola's character. She was getting her licks in, but also getting her ass beat too. She was getting it handed to her at times through this movie. It wasn't until the fight scenes towards the end where it was like, okay, this might be a little stretch and stuff, and might be where the people that's out there saying stuff unbelievable, and she becomes unstoppable. But it's not like we haven't seen it with any other action star, like I said before. But I was more living for it like any action hero versus throwing my hands up in the air screaming, this is unbelievable, and hate watching and all this stuff the whole time. Now, the movie is lacking in originality, and the plot gets a little muddy. They do bring in current things by using the Bitcoin currency and throwing in AI techniques and all that kind of stuff. And they are important elements of the film. So I give them kudos for being current in that way. But there are things about the plot that gets a little confusing. I think a little bit more could have been done with Anthony Starr's character being the villain. Um, I love how he plays his role in Homelander, as I was saying before. It didn't quite pay off fully in this role. I thought they maybe could have went a little bit more with the villain character there, but it wasn't like it was terrible or anything. I'm going to say it by any means. But things didn't completely gel together with the film. It was mostly predictable, but did have a little twist in terms of who's all on the bad guys' side. So that might throw you for a little loop, or you might figure it out along the way. But despite the flaws that exist in the film, overall, it was an enjoyable ride for me. And Viola absolutely delivers. I'm going to say stream it. Sometimes I love a good mindless movie, all right? And that's how you have to approach this one. That's how you should approach it. Sit back, relax, pop some popcorn, grab a glass of wine, whatever you want to do, and enjoy yourself an action flick with Miss Viola Davis. Now, I know we're not supposed to be watching prom, but there's still some shows on there I like, y'all, and we still have some of our people who are doing some things on there. So while they're there, let's support. And maybe we can help roll back these DEI things. I don't know. Maybe you feel a different way and your hands are all out prime right now. But I'm saying stream it.